had already lived at the place I was living with for 2 years with my roommates, and I wanted to try something new. I had a couple friends living on the lawn years prior, and they had loved it.
I knew I wanted to apply to live on the lawn. Actually, since I got to UVA, I got involved with Eccles Council. Our president at the time, she lived on the lawn, and I really just loved that idea of being at the center of the school and being at the center of UVA. I was like, wow, I really do love this. I think it'd be so much fun to live on the lawn myself come fourth year.
Starting in my first year, I always knew I was interested. I used to work at a living history museum. Every day I get to interact with tourists and sort of model this historic site in some ways, and that has just been such a special experience, and I knew that I wanted to be part of it.
I was encouraged to apply here to live in the lawn because I knew a lot of former residents. The fascinating part was the amount of people willing to help me in the application, and I thought that maybe, just maybe, I might actually get it.
The Office of African American Affairs gives Black students like a peer advisor, and my peer advisor actually lived in this room. I always could stop by whenever I wanted, and she was just like a source of like light and like joy. And I kind of wanted to like do that my fourth year, be able to have a room and open my door to friends and stuff.
My first year, when I was just walking around the lawn, as you do as like a wandering first year, I ran into a person named Kevin, and they lived on the lawn down on the South Lawn. Over the course of a couple of weeks, he became like a very, very important mentor of mine and really kind of changed like the trajectory of like my time here at UVA in general. I kind of felt like, oh, I want to be that person for other first years or for other people in general.
The thing I like the most about living on the lawn is that this room has kind of become a hub for all of the different groups that I'm involved with. I think it's so much fun to have this space that kind of belongs to everyone, like not just me, but all of the different groups that I'm involved with.
Traditions like lighting of the lawn, trick-or-treating on the lawn, being in the center of it all is definitely enjoyable. You have like a front row seat to all of it.
Being able to see people all the time and just living at the heart of the school, I love having people over, I love having company, or even if it's just me hanging out here and my door is open, I'm able to wave bye to people as they walk by.
All of the people that you meet, whether it's like the other 53 people who live on the lawn, who are also fourth years, or just like the random people that you happen to run into because you live in such like a public space.
My favorite part of living on the lawn is pretty cliche. The community, the people that I've met. I've met people that I don't think I would have ever met if I hadn't lived on the lawn.
It definitely like allows for just like a more community-based feel, and also just like spontaneity. My friends like around grounds, or even friends that I've known since like first year and haven't seen like often, will just stop by.
I've been able to stop by and help more people just because I live here and I have a lot of different things here that I could help people with. I really enjoy being at a place that's central, and that's something that's never been like part of who I am.
Another favorite thing of mine about living in these rooms are the fireplaces. Having my friends over, having a fire, having tea, and just like hanging out.
I've had 3 or 4 past 11 West residents come by, but I've had a lot more just past lawnies from other rooms stop in.
Former residents come to people's doors and be like, oh, like my uncle like lived in this room like a decade ago, or I lived in this room like in 2015.
That's just something super special that has bonded generations of UVA students in a really unique way.
The community's been great. It's been really great. And I was looking forward to it when I applied, and I didn't expect it to be so like interconnected as it actually is. We are incredibly like tight-knit and like a very caring and kind of like loving and fun community.
The lawn community is very diverse. We're also very like tight-knit and bonded, and I feel like I've become close with friends with people that I like probably wouldn't have crossed paths with if I didn't live on the lawn.
Everyone has such different interests and is involved in so many different things. I've been exposed to things at UVA that I never would have known about had one of my neighbors not brought it up to me. It's definitely just opened my eyes to like everything that UVA really has to offer.
The lawn is like having 50 plus roommates.
All 54 of us just getting to know each other and having that community of people who do such incredible and such like fun things too.
I think we were all excited to kind of like meet each other, and so we've just been kind of spending this whole year throwing like random events with each other.
One of my like fondest memories was during last semester in the winter. There was a meteor shower, and then we just all went on the lawn. We got a picnic blanket and just like laid out and like looked at the stars and saw like dozens of shooting stars.
I love like the little things where at night like we're all sitting in our lawn chair there and then play music and just hang out.
I've come to appreciate the fact that I have neighbors that close by me that, understand the same struggles as I do as a student leader.
If you need something, there's always someone there that will be like, oh, I have it in room XYZ.
It's just wonderful. We all kind of feel like this like big, weird like family, this big like unconventional family.
But I do like going to the gardens when I need like some quiet time or time to reflect, like going to all the different gardens because they're each like unique and have like their different spots. I really like Garden 8. So going there when I like want to break or just want to read and stuff is probably my favorite spot. There's a cat called Henry that everyone like talks to.
I actually cat sat for Henry the cat in Pav 6. So the garden behind Pav 6 is my favorite secret spot.
I like the gardens. I like to think of the garden that's very close to me as well as Garden 10 down the line. And they're just really pristine spots.
It's so calming and peaceful, and it's a beautiful garden.
It's been really wonderful to, sit and enjoy nature literally right at your own backyard.
My favorite spot near the lawn, actually it's on the lawn, is the east side courtyard of the rotunda where the reflecting pool is. I absolutely love sitting on the benches there and just like listening to the water flow, especially in like early fall or early spring as well. It's absolutely beautiful there.
The dome room of the rotunda, I love studying there when they open it up to students on Monday and Tuesday nights. It's quiet, it's cozy, there's always chairs available when Clem is packed for finals studying. It's just such a wonderful space to be in, and you can peek out the window and look over the whole lawn. It's got a special place in my heart.
When it's nice out, there's nothing better than just like walking outside and sitting or climbing a tree and just like hanging out in this outdoor space.
Just like walking to the bathroom. People think it's like a hurdle, but you truly just like get over it in like the first like 2 weeks, and it honestly like adds to the experience. You kind of bond with all the other Lonnies about things like that, like walking to the bathroom and there's like a huge tour coming past.
Honestly, it's really not all that bad. Bathrooms are fine. I think it takes a little bit getting used to the fact that you go outside to use the bathroom, but once you're used to it, it's just like, oh, okay.
I don't think it's a challenge at all. Honestly, this doesn't feel that different from living in my first year dorm. Plus, I think the experience of Lonnies marching down the lawn in their bathrobes to go shower in the mornings is a bonding experience.
There's 54 of us on the lawn, so you'll see 53 other people running around the lawn in their robes, running around with their little shower caddies, things like that, and it's just like, okay, I'm not the only one who looks as ridiculous as I do right now.
In the winter, it's a little unfortunate, but not as big a deal as everybody seems to think it is.
I can't imagine my UVA experience without this being a part of it. It's been the highlight of my year. It's been the highlight of my entire time here at UVA.
It shaped my experience by definitely making me more like outgoing.
I was a first-gen low-income student coming in. I had no idea what college was. So looking back at it, it's kind of surreal that I live in Lawn 1. Now thinking back and being able to be that and be a first-gen student is something I can offer to younger students.
Kind of just being like a source of community for people has been really fun, and also just like having my friends stop by all the time. It's definitely made this semester, this year for me, more like sociable.
You can just be a bit more spontaneous. You can be a bit more interactive, and you can be a bit more hospitable than any other place that you get to live in.
I think maybe before living on the lawn, I didn't feel as deeply connected to this space as I do now, but there's something inevitable about being able to like open your door and walk out and have your lawn be the lawn and have like the surrounding buildings be the rotunda has just sort of changed my perspective about UVA and made me feel a lot closer to, I think, the other students and my neighbors, but also just like the university as a whole.
It really introduced me to a great community of people who are also very involved at UVA and also very excited to be involved and be a part of the UVA community.
Like the people that I have met through becoming way more acquainted with like these grounds and like the history of all of this architecture and these buildings, like it has impacted my UVA experience beyond measure. I will always look back on my time here at UVA and think about this and think about like this space that I have curated and lived in. First, I would say, yes, absolutely apply.
I would definitely say it's worth it.
there's talk about in order to live on the lawn you have to check XYZ boxes, but I'm involved on the arts grounds. I work at the Kluge Roo, and proof that you can do what you're interested in and still get a lawn room.
Be yourself in the application and show like all aspects of your personality. So not only like academic or the CIOs that you're in, like kind of touching on all of that and just touching on like your personal passions. They really want to just see you as an entire person, and that really helps like round out your application.
Bring your most honest and true self to your application. Don't really do anything that you're not interested in solely because you think it's gonna help you get a lawn room. I think you should always be doing the things that you're interested in, things that drive you, and that passion and that drive will show on your application.
If you're honest with yourself and tell yourself that this is where I really want to live, and that's because of these number of reasons.
I struggled a lot with thinking that, oh, am I enough to be on the lawn? Don't stop yourself from getting things because you don't believe that you're enough. Because I'm here to tell you that you are enough, and just one application won't define you in any matter or any way.
Absolutely apply. If you get it, absolutely take it.
I think it just provides like hundreds of experiences that you can't find anywhere else. Like, this is really the only place to get them.
Oh yeah, I like lived in this like interesting, unique like housing situation for a year. And it's probably not an experience that I'll get again.
We're living in this weird, like, communal, shared bathrooms, very public setting. This room has existed for so long, and you get to kind of be a part of this, like, history of this campus.
When else are you gonna say that you lived in a room that was built 200 years ago, or that you lived in a World Heritage Site? And it really is a once-in-a-lifetime experience.